You're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Omole Ohansi Omodesola Mary, and I'll be teaching you case study today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please, if you are a new subscriber, please subscribe. Please share the video to those that you know benefit from it and and let's go. So basically today we're going to be talking about internal and external reports, and I feel like this is a very serious topic, like very serious topic, because like the foundation of everything you're going to be doing will be based on whether you are asked to do an internal report or an external report. So you have to be like, you have to have knowledge of what an internal report is or what an external report is, because you cannot do what you don't know. So basically, so you have to have knowledge of it. So I'm teaching you internal and external reports thing. So just follow me through. Keep watching the video until the very end. It's going to be an exciting journey. And don't forget, hit the like button, share to as many as you know that will benefit from it, and turn on the notification bell so that you can get updates of my new videos. So let's go. So basically, internal and external report. So let's increase this. Yes, so that we can see very well. Good. So internal report and external report. So in ICAN case study reports writing, there are basically two types of reports. It's either you write an internal report or you write an external report. It's either one of those two. They'll either ask you to write an internal report and external report. So today we'll be talking about, oh, what is an external report, what's an internal report, how do I know if I'm preparing an external report or an internal report. And in subsequent videos, I'll be showing you practical examples of the entire structure of an internal report and the entire structure of an external report. But today, we're just basically, you understand, introducing ourselves to these terms, knowing what it's about. Then in subsequent videos, we'll be going to the practical aspect of the report. So now, an external report now. An external report is a report that is prepared for a third party, a company or individual, not within the organization. Do you understand? So in summary, in simple terms, an external report is prepared for an external party. An internal report is prepared for an internal party. So let's bring it down to like a very simple like, explanation. So now, if you're writing, just like when we had, okay, in secondary schools, or write a letter to a formal letter, an informal letter. Oh, formal letter is to maybe somebody, you understand, outside. Big informal letter is like writing to your mommy, writing to your daddy, or how that way. So now, in that, looking at it from that aspect now, a formal letter is an external report. You write it to a company, you write it to an individual outside the organization. But an internal report is like an informal letter. Internal, informal. You can use that to learn it. Now, internal report is like an informal letter that is written to a party within. When it's okay, write to your mommy, ask her for your school fees, write to your mommy, ask her for your birthday dress, something just like how we used to do in secondary school, and then so that just that how it is. So internal report is internal, external report is external. So an external report is a report that's prepared for a party, a company outside, not within the organization. And in most cases, I can usually test external report, but yes, the internal report cases that have been tested in ICAN. And we're going to be looking at that as time goes on. So now, the most important things, oh, now you know that, okay, an external report is written to a party outside the organization. So how do I now write an external report? What is the structure of an external report? So now let's now look at it in total. Now, the report you prepare depends on the examiner's requirements. First off, you cannot say, oh, I know how to write external reports very well. So I decide to write external reports, or I know how to write internal reports. Pardon me. Oh, I'll go for internal reports. No, the choice is not yours. It's the examiner's requirements, the examiner's instructions that will determine the type of report you prepare. That will determine whether you will be writing an internal report or determine whether you're writing an external report. So you have to look at the requirements of the examiner in the question paper. And the cover page is one of the major areas you have to consider. Do you understand? The cover page is the first page. Now, I'll put the link to the video where I talked about cover page in the description below. Please check it out so I can understand more about what cover page is about, what's it going to be, or how do you know everything and everything. I created a video for you. It is in the link. The link is in the description below. You can just check it out. So now the cover page of an external report includes a disclaimer. That's like the major difference between an internal and external report. Oh, the cover page. It starts on it. Now, I was saying in the video where the cover page is, you can check it out, that the cover page is the first page of a report, and the first page is the first impression. If you mess it up, the reader, the marker, the examiner would have this ideology that, oh, this person does not really know what he or she is doing. So it can affect your grade entirely. So you have to know whether you're writing an internal report or external report, because the cover page, which is the first page, must include a disclaimer if it is an external report. Now, many students ask the question that, oh, why would we include a disclaimer in external reports and we don't include a disclaimer in internal reports? So basically, a disclaimer, what is a disclaimer? A disclaimer is a statement from the reporting company stating that they will not be held liable for any loss that any other unauthorized party incurs as a result of relying on the information. So they're saying that they will not be held responsible for any loss that any party may incur. So a disclaimer basically is the company or the reporting company now protecting themselves against any liability, against any loss. Why is a disclaimer necessary? Now, you're preparing an external report, and when you say something is external, it's going out on your company. And the truth of the matter is, you don't really know who would come in contact with that report. That's the truth. Now, let's say, for example, now you're working for Ade Chartered Accountants, like your company is Ade Chartered Accountants. That's the name of the company, and you're asked to prepare a report for ABC Limited. Now, when you send a report to ABC Limited, you're sending it to probably the board of directors of ABC Limited, but then you don't really know who may actually come in contact with it, because ABC Limited can probably publish it. ABC Limited can probably put it in their office that anybody can step in and take a look at it or something. So you don't really know who and who may actually come in contact with that report you get. So you have to like put a disclaimer, like put a clause, put a written statement that, if any other person carry this report apart from ABC Limited, I will not be held responsible. So that's one of the major things you have to consider when you're writing an external report. You have to put a disclaimer. You have to put a disclaimer. Now, aside from disclaimer, the other things that you also consider in the report as well. Do you get the other things you consider? You have to also include like the details, like in the cover page, or the details of the company you're sending to, whom you're sending it to, the title, the date, everything. Don't worry, just go and watch the video of the cover page. The link is in the description below. Every and everything about cover page is very, very is detailed. I detailed everything, so you just need to watch it and like share to people too that would benefit from it. But the reason why I just spoke a little about cover page in this video is because if you're preparing an external report, you have it starts from the cover page. The cover page is the first page of the report, so the structure starts from the cover page. So once you missed it from the cover page, you may fail to redeem yourself in that sense, as the reader keeps, or the examiner or the marker keeps going, like scrolling through your work, your reports. So you have to do it very, very well. The cover page is very, very important. So now, like I said earlier, we're looking at the structure of the external report. So I just briefly spoke a little about the cover page. So now let's look at each structure of the external report one after the other. So the first thing, like I said, is the cover page. The number one is the cover page, right? Is the cover page. And on the cover page, you have two that is the contains details of the company or individual that you're reporting for. You understand? That you're preparing the report for, pardon me, the company or individual that you are preparing the report for. So who are you preparing the report for? Or you okay, maybe for instance now, or let's say in most cases it will be a client of the company you're reporting for. So you have something like, oh, so let's say two, let's say the board of directors of ABC Limited. So you have something like that. Okay, to the board of directors of ABC Limited. Then from now, so we have, let's see, from, okay, let's say you're working for Ade Chartered Accountant. Ade Chartered Accountant. Yes, that's how it is. So that means you have this. So let's highlight this. Let's use red so that we would know what we are actually working with. So now basically, so you have your two. Your two is the company that you are writing to. Who are you writing to? You're writing to the board of directors of ABC Limited. And from the details of the company that is, or you have a company that is the company that you are working for. Now you're working for Ade Chartered Accountant, so you have from Ade Chartered Accountant. Now let's now go to the date. Let me reduce the size of this because I want you to actually get this very well. Now, if you're looking about the dates now, the dates can be very, very tricky. That's why you have to be smart. Now, ICANN is not just a test of intelligence, that's the truth. ICANN is also a test of how or let's say I can do a test of how much you read or how much you know. You have to be smart, actually, basically. So now, when you're talking about the dates, now the dates can be very, very tricky. Usually, the date is like the date of your examination. Do you understand? The date of the examination, when you wrote the examination, and everything. That's basically usually the dates of your that you write on your cover page. Now, just check the link, like I said. Again, check the video of the cover page. So the cover page basically is the on the cover page. You have to write the dates of the report, like the days you're preparing the report. And most times, usually the examination days, because obviously in real life that's the days you're actually preparing the report. But then you have to also be smart. Now let's look at this now. Let's look at this. Let me increase it again so that you can see. Now in May 2022, there was a trick, there was a twist, actually. There was a twist. And then, oh, they said, okay, they sent you a report. Now, in this diet, you were told that you are Tunde Taiwo and you're working for a company and you're reporting to Dasuki Seidu. And so Dasuku, hey, sorry. And so Dasuki Seidu sent you an email. Dasuku sent you an email, and the email was sent on the 6th of October 2021. But now, if you look at this now, look at the pink arrow now and the yellow arrow. Now, the pink arrow and the yellow arrow, I highlighted main things that said. They said, I will expect a report for you in the next 2 weeks to enable me carry out a review and submit to Helen for BP Fashions. Now, BP Fashions is the client. BP Fashions board in the next 3 weeks. Now, they're sending you a report. Now, you're writing the exam. I wrote it down here. The exam was held on the 12th of May 2022. Abi now. But the email was sent on the 6th of October 2021. That's when they sent the email. On the 6th of October 2021. And the instruction from the email said that you must report in how many weeks? In 2 weeks. You were asked to report in 2 weeks. And 2 weeks from October 2021 is the 20th of October 2021. So now look at it now. So will I now be writing 12th of May? Jonathan, think about it as a professional. Which day do you think is most appropriate? You were given an email for 6th October and you were asked to report in 2 weeks. That's 20th of October. Do you understand? So now it is 20th of October you're going to write as your dates based on the instruction in the email. So you also have to like look at, don't say, oh, pa. I didn't know it's my examination date. Look through, read through, see if there's any clause, see if fine, these things may not be, it doesn't really matter now. But then you have to be a professional because you're actually writing a professional exam. And when you are in that hall, they assume that oh you are in the position of a professional writing a professional report. Do you understand? So you have to actually check it out. Don't just be too forward. Don't just jump and just say it's an examination. They check if there's any clause, if there's anything that you actually need to take into consideration. So after that, then you need to write the title. That's on the cover. No, what's still on the cover page. Don't forget where I'm coming from. Then the title would be coined from the instructions that you're given in the examination paper, like in the question paper. Now, in this diet now, in this same diet, that's the May 2022. I'm still using it as an example. The instruction was to carry out the financial analysis, comment on the treatment of items in IS2, and then evaluate your two business proposals. So that's what basically you have to. So you coin out an instruction from it. So now like, you coin out a title from the instruction. So now let's see now we asked now. You can see instruction one, We have to evaluate the company's performance, talk about IS2, then the two business proposals that the company has. That's what they asked us to do. So we coin a term, a title out of it. So now let's see something like, oh, you can have something like, oh, reports on the evaluation of the financial performance. Let's use another font color for this. On the financial performance, treatment of items in IS2, and business proposals of best price fashions. Do you understand? So basically, you just coin a term from it. Then you include your disclaimer because we're actually writing an external report. Because we're writing an external report, you actually need to include a disclaimer. And I'll be later on in the video. I'll be telling you how you know it's an external report. I'll be telling you, but just let's look at the structure first. Below is I'll tell you how you know it's an external report or internal report. So let's just understand what external report is. Understand what internal report is. Then I'll dive into how do I know. Do you understand? So just follow me. Keep watching. Don't leave this video. Just keep watching to the very end. I'm still going to explain. So the disclaimer is like as I earlier explained, is a written statement of the reporting company that they'll be covered against any loss. And I showed you a sample of the disclaimer. So this is just a very, very simple sample, just an information. You don't really need so many stories. You just want to tell them that oh, you will not be held liable. So this report has been prepared for the board of directors of Best Price Fashion. No liability therefore will be accepted in the event of loss incurred by an unauthorized party as a result of relying on this information. Now, what is this disclaimer really talking about? Let's have an example. You're working for a chartered accountants, right? And you are preparing a report for ABC Limited. So let's say Mr. Ali Mohammed comes into the company of ABC Limited, and oh, maybe the owner of or the maybe the one of the board of director members or one of the members of the board of directors is Mr. Ali Mohammed's cousin. So Mr. Ali Mohammed comes, oh, dear cousin, I want to visit you. I want to say hello to you. And he says, wow, there's a report on your table. What's it about? And he opens it. And let's imagine that the report we're preparing for ABC Limited is about whether they should invest in XYZ stock or not. Maybe they okay, please prepare a report assessing XYZ stocks. Tell us whether we should invest in XYZ stocks or we should not invest in XYZ stocks. Let's imagine that that's what the report was prepared on. And after we carried out our analysis, we did our due diligence, we did the market survey, we did everything. We saw that, oh yes, maybe XYZ's stock would boom, and then it would be a good thing for ABC Limited to actually invest in it. And we said, wow, go ahead. Wow, it's so valuable. Wow, beautiful. And Mr. Ali Mohammed sees and say, these people are telling you that XYZ stocks will actually be good. Myself, I'll put my money on. Myself, I would also invest in XYZ stocks. And he goes ahead and he invests in XYZ stocks. And you know, these things are just projections. They may or may not happen. So what if unforeseen circumstances occur and XYZ stocks actually crash? The prices crash, the value crashes, everything just messed up. And Mr. Ali Mohammed now come and say, where is that? I just checked the accountant company. I want to sue them. I want my money back. They're the ones that gave me false information. You cannot collect anything from us. You cannot collect anything from us because we had put a disclaimer in the report that this report has been prepared for the board of directors of Best Price Fashions. No liability therefore will be accepted in the event of loss incurred by an unauthorized party as a result of relying on information. Because if you don't put that kind of clause, many people will just want to be asking you for refunds. Many people will be asking you to reimburse them of any loss or anything that they may have incurred. Do you understand? So that's why it's very, very necessary that you actually have to put a disclaimer in your external report because it's going outside the company. You have no control. You cannot tell Best Price Fashions that Best Price Fashions. Don't make sure that you don't give anybody you. It's only the board of directors. So it's their reports. At least most likely they must have probably paid your company for it or something. So they have every right to put it anywhere. They have every right to probably publish it. They have every right to do whatever they want with the report. But you, to cover yourself against liability, because you cannot control how they use that report, you have to put it there. So that's why a disclaimer is very, very important in an external report. So after you do your cover page and go down to the executive summary. Now I'll be putting the link in the description to a video on executive summary, so you can just check it out. So what an executive summary is about. Or in the video I also looked at an executive summary of an internal report, an executive summary of an external report. So everything is just there for you. Just click the link, share it to many people. And if you have watched this video so far, thank you so much for sticking by. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to turn on your notification bell and share this video to many people that would benefit from it. So after that, you go to your executive summary. Now this is the summary of the entire report, and it's called executive summary because it's a summary for the executives. Now the executives of the company are just the big guys that stroll in, stroll out, so they may not necessarily have time to actually sit down and prepare lengthy reports and read lengthy reports, or sit down and study the lengthy reports, scan through for the information. So they need you to do an executive summary, like a summary of everything that you have said in your report. And people that don't have time, because you're not presenting 15 pages, you're presenting 20 pages of executive summary. Do you understand? So these people don't have time. Normally, they don't have time. So the executive summary should be not more than 2 pages. Do you understand? And that 2 pages is basically because you are writing with your hand. So people like me now that we have big handwriting, you have to know how to manage that space. Do you understand? And the executive summary covers everything that you have done, the scope of work, what you did, the body of everything, the analysis you did, the recommendations you gave, the conclusions you gave, everything. So your summarization skills has to be top notch. So that after doing your executive summary, you can just do a little introduction. This is not really necessary, but like just give a little introduction of your report, what you are doing. Just take a little about the company. But then I'll advise you, because you actually have to be time conscious. Do you understand? You have to be time conscious. So I'll advise you that you should leave like a page. Go to other aspects that will fetch you high marks, that will give you high marks. Like now, executive summary now is 20 marks. The body of the report is 32 marks. Do you understand? So go to those ones that would give you high marks. Do you understand? And if time permits, you can come back to the introduction. The introduction is not like, oh, necessary, but it's just, oh, just be professional, trying to make your report look good and all of that. So now the next one is the body of the report. Now this covers the financial statement analysis, the financial data analysis, the strategic analysis, everything. So the body of the report, that's what you're going to be doing there. Oh, if there's now in the May 2022 that we looked at now diet. Now they asked you to do financial evaluation, like look at financial performance. They asked you for IES 2, and they asked you for to analyze the business proposals, the two business proposals. So now the evaluation of the company performance, that's like the financial statement analysis. The evaluations of the business proposal, that's like the financial data analysis. There's strategic analysis, just like you have your corporate strategic management and ethics, your CSME that you did in skills level. So now that CSME now, that's like, oh, the model, special model, SWOT model. But then you do that if it's required. Because most of everybody does it. Oh, SWOT. Everybody shall wants to do SWOT. Everybody wants to do PESTEL. Everybody wants to do Potter's 5 forces model. It's not always going to be necessary. Do you understand? You do it except you don't do it except it is required. So you only do it when it is required by the examiner. So basically, that's what your body of report is. Then you also consider ethical considerations. Then you have your appendix. That this is like a working sheet at the back. You understand all the computations, diagrams of the models, your calculation, your MPV, your payback period, your contribution analysis, whatever you did, your methodologies basically that you did to cover in this appendix. So basically, that's what it's just about. That's just the structure of an external report. So now let's have it here. So like we said, the first thing is your cover page. Okay, your cover page. Then after your cover page, you go to your executive summary. I mean now, then after executive summary, you can have your introduction. Introduction. Then after that, you can now move down to your body, the body of the report. Body of the report. The body of the report. Then move down to your appendix. Yes, so that's just it. So that's just basically it. So that's just a summary of the external report. So now let's now go to the internal report and let's look at it basically. So now internal report is a report that is prepared for a party within the organization. A party within the organization. A party within the organ. And in simple terms, an internal report is prepared for internal parties. The internal report is prepared in the form of a memo. This memo is addressed to a party in the organization, which can be a department unit within the organization. In most cases, internal report is not the same, but sometimes it's tested though. So, like I said earlier, internal report is just like a report that is prepared for a party within the organization, someone within the organization. Now, like I said, the example that we used earlier, you're working for a chartered accountant. So, if they're telling you that, oh, you're working for a chartered accountant, so okay, prepare a report for the project department of a chartered accountant or the board of directors of a chartered accountant. Now, that is like a party inside the organization. Like we linked it to the informal and informal letter. If you're preparing you're preparing a letter for your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, or somebody within. Do you understand? That's an internal report. It could be a department, it could be a unit, it could even be the board of directors. Do you understand? So it can be the board of directors. So let's add that there. It could be a department, the board of directors. So the board of directors too. It could be any of them within the organization, within the so once you see something like, oh, I should do something for somebody inside, then I know that, oh, I'm definitely writing an internal report. So it's not tested in most cases, but sometimes it's tested. Oh, so you have to actually know it. Do you understand? Oh? Most times it's external, but internal too is tested. And don't worry, we'll be doing a practical example on how to write an entire internal report, how to write an entire external report. The entire report, we'll be looking at it in total. So don't worry about that. So unlike an external report, unlike an external report, an internal report does not require a disclaimer. So you don't need a disclaimer in an internal report. You don't need a disclaimer because now, like I said earlier, when we use the example of Mr. Ali Mohammed and we use the example of Ali Chartered Accountant ABC Limited. Now, I'm preparing a report for somebody inside the organization. So definitely upholding the duty of confidentiality, the report is not even supposed to even leave the organization. So unauthorized parties are not even supposed to even have access to the report in the first place. So there's no need for me to be putting this report is prepared for the board of directors. No, there's no need for all that because it's prepared for internal parties. Do you understand? It's prepared for internal parties. It's not even supposed to be used by external parties. Do you understand? And so there's no need for us to protect ourselves against any form of loss or anything. Do you understand? So the internal report is for internal use alone. Do you understand? It's for internal reports. An internal report is for internal use alone. And for authorized parties for authorized parties. Do you understand? So for authorized parties. So another report was tested in May 2019 diet. So I would actually explain everything to you. But let's just understand what internal report is. Let's not make this video complicated. You understand? It's like foundational video and everything. So we'll do that as time goes on. Or just laying the foundation. So the structure of an internal report, just like an external report, so an internal report too requires a cover page. You actually have to do a cover page in the internal report as well. You have to do a cover page. So when preparing the cover page, you will state the reporting company you're preparing for. Do you understand? The party rather. The party you are preparing for. That's this in this case, like, it could be a department, it could be a unit, it could be the board of directors. Do you understand? And who you are actually preparing the report for, like the party reporting, the recipient of the report, the date, the title of the memo. So we can have a structure now. So you have something like date. So now let's use this structure to actually do something now. So now we said okay, the date. So let's say dates. So you have something like, oh, let's say the 20th. Okay, let's use small letters. 20th of December. Let's just use it. Date December 2024. Let's just use 2024. So we have two. So let's say you are reporting to the board of directors. Let's imagine that we are supposed to report to the board of directors. Oh. The and don't forget, you're working for are they chartered accountants, board of directors of are they chartered accountants, right? Good. Yeah, are you good? Yeah. So now the board of directors of are they chartered accountants, right? So we have from, let's say you are reporting from, okay, let's create a scenario now. The examiner tells you that you are to prepare a report. You are working in a chartered accountant, and you are actually in the department of project and management. Let's say you're working for project and you're working in project and management department, and there is a project that the company wants to embark on, but they want the project and management department to analyze the project, assess it, to look at the viability, to look at whether they should invest or not. So let's say that's what they're dealing with. So you're working from you're working in the department of project and management, and you're reporting to the board of directors of Ade Chartered Accountants, like talking about the assessment on the analysis, the financial analysis you carried out on the project that they want to embark on. So now we have from the projects and management department. You understand, Abby? Okay, there's an E here. So let's just take this off. Okay, then we have title. Okay, financial analysis of the XYZ projects. Do you understand? So that's just basically what you just do. Then you jump in to the next. Yes, financial analysis of XYZ project. So you jump into the next. Do you get? You jump into the next. So that's just basically what will be on your cover page, like your cover page. This is just what's going to be there. Do you understand? So that's just it. Then so you don't need a disclaimer. You don't need a disclaimer at all, because like I explained earlier, there's no need in an internal report. Then you go to the body of the report. Do you understand? So the body of the report, then you have your executive summary too, executive summary, just like you have it in your external report. Then you talk about your financial analysis. You understand? Your financial analysis, that's your let's say your financial statement analysis, your financial data analysis, and probably, if required, and your strategic analysis when necessary, because it's not always all the time that you do it, you guys. So when necessary, that's what you're supposed to do. Then after that, obviously, after the body of the report, then you have your appendix. Now, in your introduction, recall that in your external report, I told you that you can do a little introduction. Now, in your external report, your introduction, I talk about probably the history of the company you are dealing with, the maybe not necessarily the history, because now looking at it, you don't really necessarily even need history, because you're talking to a company, best price fashions, and telling them the history of the company. Obviously, they know, but then introduction is not necessarily really like necessarily like it's not necessary in that sense. So you don't really need an introduction, except probably you just want to do your work and everything. Like you just patch it up, just try to make it look professional. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them what things prepared. Tell them what the report is about. Do you get? So you don't really need an introduction. So just do a. So let's now come back in. So after you do the body of your memo, you just do an appendix. Just do an appendix. So please don't forget, introduction is good. It helps your work look neat. But if you don't have time, skip it. You can leave a page for it. Go to the important things. Then you can come back to introduction. Do you understand? It just makes your work look neat. Makes it look professional. It makes it look good. Do you understand? Like, wow, these people know what they are actually doing. Before you just jump into the body of the report. Give us a little intro. Do you understand? Give us a little, introduce us into your report. It's good to actually do it. Do you understand? So that's just basically it. So now the big question, the very, very big question: how do I know if I'm preparing an internal or external report? Now, I just want to follow some steps that I actually highlighted for you. So because of the picture I put, let me increase this. Yes. So now I'll still be using that May 2022 diet so that I can understand. So the first thing is check the few pages of your question paper for information about you. They always tell you information about you. Do you understand? They'll always tell you information about you, like, oh, you are so so so, you're working for so so so, you are doing so so so. Now in this May 22 diet, now look at this now. It said you are Sunday Taiwo. You are working in the Lagos office of Okilola Idemudia Seidu and Co. Chartered Accountant. Do you understand? So you're working for them. You're working for them. So now you already know that, okay, the first, so have that in your mind. Who are you? You're Sunday Taiwo. Okay, who are you working for? You're working for Okilola Idemudia Seidu and Co. That's the company you're working for. Okilola. You're working for Okilola. Abi now. So from this information, you're working for Okilola Idemudia and Co. Chartered Accountant. So you have known that. You note it down. And even going deep pre-scene, that is the first few pages of the examination paper that will be released 2 weeks before the examination. You will have known all these things, so you already know the person you're working for. Now, the next thing you look at is that, is there any third party? Now, check through the information to see if any third party was mentioned. Do you understand? Any third party was mentioned. You check through it. Okay, is any third party mentioned? Is there anybody that is not Okilola Idemudia Seidu and Co that was in the report? Now, if you look at this one, you can actually look at this in your list of exhibits. It's a very, very good way to actually like know. For instance, the list of exhibits shows the presence of a third party BP fashions. And now look at now, all from the number one list of exhibits, they told you about you, Tunde Tayo, and your employer. So your employer is Okilola Idemudia Seidu and Co. But now they're giving you management accounts of BP Fashions. They did not tell you they're giving you management of accounts of Okelola Idemudia Seido and Co. They're giving you management accounts of an entirely different company. So you know that a third party is present. So you know that obviously I'm working on an external report because you are what? You are working on the management account of a third party. But if you have something like, oh, let's say in this number three, now they tell you something like, they tell you something like Okelola Idemudia Seidu and Co. Limited. Then on number four, okay, so like let's have something like this. So let's say the number one now. Let's put the cursor on this side. So let's say you have number one about you, Abino, and I tell you, okay, Lola, okay, Abino. Then number two, they're not telling you maybe the Nigerian fashion, maybe Okelola is in the Nigerian fashion industry or something. You understand? So they tell you about Nigerian fashion industry. That tell you something like, okay, Lola, okay, Lola, Idemudia, Seidu, and Co. Limited. Abino. Then the first one, they now told you something like, okay, let's copy this to just save time. Okay, Lola, Idemudia Seidu and Co. Limited, Limited Management. Okay, let's correct this. Management accounts. Let's say, okay, let's follow the same pattern. 2018 to 2020. Now look at it though. Let's look at the difference. Now they told you about you. Abi now about you and your employer and your employer. Abi now. That's what they told you. So now let's imagine that we have these two examples now about you and your employer. Example one, they told us that our employer is Okelola Idemudia Seidu and Co. I mean now they gave us information about best price fashions at the management account. But in this example, it was our employer is Okelola, oh, but then they're giving us information about Okelola. So you know that option A, which is this one, we're doing external. Option B, which is all this one like this. We're doing what? We're doing internal. We're doing internal reports because the management account, the information they're giving you is about your employer. It's an internal information. So these things will let you know if you're doing external or internal reports. But based on this example that we're using here, is an external report. Based on this example, is an internal report. You understand? So now the next thing is that, are you required to prepare a report for the external and internal party? You also have to check that, okay, oh, who are they telling you to prepare the report for? Do you understand? So now this example now was given by this information was given by the examiner. The examiner said a report just for review, a report addressed to the board of directors of Best Price Fashion. So you're not preparing a report to the board of directors of Okilola, Idemudia and Co. You are preparing a report to Best Price Fashion, an external party. So it's going out. So you obviously know it's an external report that will require a disclaimer and all of that that we spoke about earlier. Do you understand? So the requirement was also a third party. So all this instruction will let you know if you're actually preparing an internal report or external report and what have you. So basically, that's all about this video today about internal and external reports. Thank you so much for sticking by. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot. Please make use of the comment section, ask questions, drop contributions. Let me know areas that you want me to explain further. Let me know videos that you like me to create. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Turn on your notification bell because I'm going to be dropping a lot of videos to help you prepare for the exam. I wish you success in all your endeavors and I wish you success in the forthcoming exams. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.